So can we start with our session? Sir?
Yeah, sure. I think Harshit is already sharing. Is it fine if Harshit I'll start sharing? Let me do a chat setup so that I can read all the chats.
Participants, if you have any queries, you can post your queries in the chat box. Before we begin with our second half of the session after lunch. So for your previous session, if any queries, you can please put up in the chat box. Sir is there to take your queries. Kavya sir, Arjun is requesting to check her website link. Arjun, you can again share your link.
Sure, I do have Arjun's link. I
Okay, fine.
was reviewing that, so just give me a second. Cool. I was just going through all of the links here. Arjun, good job done. I think these icons are overlapping with each other. We'll discuss how to fix this issue. All right. Otherwise, overall good. I don't see any more changes here. And a third website. Yeah, have done a lot. So this is a beautiful looking website. Nice color combination. Nipun, yeah, Nipun, we need to fix this. Not sure it's not going right. Cool. There's no more updates from. Okay, yeah, Ruchi, I've done that. That's cool. Not such a bit from Sukhbir. I hope others have not published their changes yet. How do I align pictures centrally? Okay, we'll discuss that.
Recording in progress.
Yeah, cool. So cool. So what we do basically, we basically select a container. Okay, quickly go here, select your container. All right, go to your layouts, select flags, and in align, do center, and justify. You can justify your content with a space. It'll work. That's a space between. It'll be center. Cool. We'll just wait a couple of more minutes in case anyone have any questions. Feel free to post your questions. We'll take your questions first, then we'll start. There's a new link from Square. Oh, nice. Little scary. Good job, Square. Anyone else have any questions? Not yet. Cool. Should we wait for a couple of more minutes or we should start? What do you suggest?
I think you can start. If in case any student posts any queries, so we can handle that.
Let me quickly check my mic settings.
Sir, Arjun is asking how to remove the overlapping of image.
Yeah. So Arjun, what we need to do is select your image container. All right. And your in image container in justify, select this space between. Okay. And align center. And in case your images are still overlapping each other, it may be because your images is way more bigger. So what you can do, you can reduce its height and width from here.
Sir, one more query from Dhruv Kapoor. How should a website look which would be related to a social or environmental cause, but with a product attached to it?
Yeah, I'll maybe look for something. We can look for a few examples like I'll just share one. So here are a few examples. If you see, obviously these are not great one, but let me check. So these are a couple of quite a popular website, which is Global Giving. All right, and this is earthday.org. And if you want, I think this is we will definitely clear other aspects of creating a website like navigation bar and other, and then you can try building it yourself. Well, Dhruv, we need to go a little more in detail for that, right? How should it look as to indulge viewers into a social concept and the product itself? Well, I think I need a little more context for that. With this short description, it is a little tough. right? For example, here you see this is a product. They are raising money for different causes. You can add your dollar you want to contribute, and you can donate right from here, right? All right. So I think one of the simplest way of doing it. What is the social impact of any of these things? Like you're saying, secret, littering, pocket, treasury. Like what are the social impact of it? Why it is not correct? How it impacts life of people around it. So if we are able to communicate it clearly, you will know like how does it work. For example, you see here, uh, they have a very quick description. What is it about? If you already connect to it, fine. If not, you go a little more in detail and you see all of the related figures here, right? What is their challenge? What is the solution, long-term impact, and what is their study behind it? Followed by reports, photos, and other stuff. All right. So we have built this screen in last session, right? Let's quickly see if it is really responsive or not, right? How we are doing uh, with our responsiveness. So if I go here, I see things are really screwed up, right? So I think this is something just close this down. So I think this is something similar to what the issue what Arjun was facing, right? There's two ways of solving this problem. I'll just show you guys both, right? One, I'm saying in my tabs, right, my image size will not be 120, instead it will be 80 into 80, right? So okay, this is good. So instead, this will be 80 into 80. So you see this for a tab, my fix has been deployed quickly, website looking fine, tab looking fine, mobile looking fine. But here it's screwed again a bit, right? Now to fix this, if I have image which is smaller than this, right, it may not be visible at all, right? So what we'll do now, so next level of fix is to look for the layouts, right? Now next layout for this use case is a grid, right? So we simply select a grid, right? And let's not do any more changes here. Let's say if we use a grid, this is how it look like in a mobile, right? Just to improve experience. Now what I'll say, I'll just increase the size of my images again. And you see this is now bigger images and better, right? In case you want to make it a little more better, what you can do is you say, I want maybe 3 columns, right? But I want just 2 rows, right? So if you see, this is how our website will look like for mobile, right? This is how it look like for the mobile at horizontal. This is how it look like for a tab. This is how it look like for a desktop, right? So you just see how easier it was for us to optimize it for web, right? Now you see there's still some item issue, right? So how to fix this? So right now you see all of our height and widths are in 120, right? Instead, what you can do, you can try using percentage, right? I'll quickly show you how does it work. You say my image is maybe 80% of width and percent of height, and you see, and as and when you reduce, all of your content will be optimized. So what we are trying to do here is there are different ways of setting each of dimensions, right? Like height, width, min height, min width, right? Instead of setting it for a pixels, what you can opt for is you can set it as a pixels as a percentage as well. So it will take a percentage of its parent. All right. So this is another option, but we have to fix all of our responsiveness problem. I'll quickly publish this, right? Let's review how does it look like, right? This is looking nice. And in case you want to see how your website look like in mobile, again, go to the spec mode. From here, select different mobile screens. Let's say I want to see Pixel 2X. How will it look like? So it look like this, or how will it look like in any other like iPad Pro? You see this is how our website will look like. I'll just share a link of our website again in case anyone has recently joined. Cool. So far, so good. Are you guys able to make your designs responsive? Arjun, are you able to fix your website issue? Once you complete responsiveness of your designs, just to let me know. I'll quickly review. All right. Uh, just try to implement grid now instead of using flex layout here, what we was using before. Just just like we are using flex here before for this container. Instead, try to use grid and see how does it look like. And just try to optimize your designs for different screens like iPad, and maybe for iPad, if you can make it a grid, that'll be great, right? Maybe I will make it a grid. See how does it look like, right? We can make it a little more bigger, better. Let's see what options you guys have. Do let me know once you guys are done. Okay. Should we have to select container or select? We have to select container, not the image. So what do you have to do in case you find it difficult to select a container? Go to navigator, select your container, right? And then you can do view changes. For an example, in this case, I select container. I'll select flex, horizontal, um, align center, and justify center. Cool. So far, so good. Let's start. Let's move on. Right. We'll keep our website here as is. And now what we'll do, we'll go to pages as like any other website. We too will create multiple pages and see how does it work. So let's say I'm creating now, probably I will call it page 2. Okay. So this is page 2 started from scratch. Now let's see what we can do. I select here instead of image this time, I'll maybe set a gradient. Okay. I will maybe set a gradient here of right, or maybe something else. Maybe I'll pick this, right, and I will just rotate angle a bit, and I'll keep it something like this. Okay. So this time we will use something similar to this, right? And what we are going to do is we will create this some a different kind of page, right? So let's start with again when we click on elements, right? We have options of doing different things. What you can do is we can use something like this section, right? You see, these are the this is popular. These kind of segments are quite popular. You see this kind of setup in a lot of websites, right? Instead of you creating it from very scratch, what you do, you just select this section and directly drop in, right? And just start modifying it, right? You call it my car section, and I'll just click on image. I'll choose few images from what I have. So you see, most of this design stuff what we are doing before has been taken care of existing styles, right? So you see this website is created. Now what I want to do, I want to create another page. Maybe this time I will use a grid, something similar to this, right? I will just click here. Similarly, what we have done before, I'll just choose few random images and let's see how will this page work, right? So you see creating it now, what we were doing it before manually, setting up each and everything ourselves. What we have done, we have picked a few of the existing gradients of few of the existing segments which are available here. We'll also see how we can create it, right? But this is not a bad option at all, right? When you have a time crunch, creating a website quickly is as easy as this, right? Drag and drop. And once you click on this, you see this all of these are sharing same styles because they have a common selector which is card image. And again, if you want to do modify this and do any kind of changes, feel free to do that, right? And you see this is implemented in each of these cards. All cards now have a curved images. Same is true here. This is gallery thumbnail, right? And if I want to do any changes here, I'll maybe do this. And as we have done before, maybe we'll add some elevation, right? A little bit elevation. Cool. So this is adding few, right? Now, one important thing is we know now, right? Creating a multiple website pages is as easy as, okay, wait, I have a lot of questions there. Okay, sure. I'll just start from scratch again. So you go here, you see here after navigator, there's a option which is pages, right? On top, you see a create new page. Okay, click on create new page. Okay, I cannot create. So since I'm using a free version, I can create just 2 pages for now. What I'll do, maybe I will just delete this page which I have just created. Okay, and let's create it from scratch. So I'll go to pages. I'll just now start again. I will call it page 2. Okay. So this page 2 is, once it is created, you will see something like this, which is blank, started from scratch, what we have seen before, right? Do let me know if you guys are able to see this blank page and able to create new page here. All right, cool. I got one yes. So once you see this blank page, last time what we have done here, like we have set up a image as a background. This time what we are going to do is, instead of setting up an image, we are going to set some kind of gradient, right? So once you click on image here, second option, you will see as linear gradient, right? Radial gradient and color overlay. So I will just select my linear gradient and I will select my color as red, maybe a little bit black, right? And you see this is a gradient I'm going to use for all of my website. Okay, Sukhveer is not getting a blank page. So Sukhveer, have you created a new page? If you create a new page, just like that page and then see it. Your page 2 is SMS page 1. That ideally should not happen. All right, maybe we'll check. So one thing what you can do, Sukhveer, if your page 2 is SMS page 1, just do Control A. Everything will be selected and delete. Click on delete. You will see a blank page there. For an example, if I quickly go to my home page again, if I select any component, right, and if I click on delete, it will be deleted. So similar thing you have to do. You just for now delete all your components from page 2. Cool, cool. Sukhvi, you're able to follow this. Let's start, right? So what I was saying is, we have earlier what we have done. Let's say if I want to create something, one thing is I will just drop this section, right? I can pick my header, right, like this, or instead let's delete. So what I'm trying to do is I'm maybe trying to create something like where I have two different columns at the left and the right. At the right side, I have an image. At the left side, I have a heading and the paragraph. Right? How you can create this? You just click on elements. You can drop your columns. Right? You see now I have a two columns. Right? And what I will do here, I'll go back. I will just select heading. I will drop here. Go again. Select your paragraph and drop here. Right? And in your column 2, we'll just pick any image and drop it in column 2. Cool. So just to fix its height and width, I'll say its maximum height would be 200 pixels. So this is equivalent to this. And I'll say my color will always be white. Okay. And my paragraph color will be like this, right? See this, and in order to fix its width, what we'll do, we'll go back here and we will say its max width can be 220, not 220, actually 420 pixels, right? And you'll see something similar to this. Is select our body. So is it visible to you guys? Just to separate it out a bit more, what I'll do, I'll just set its background a bit like this with some alpha on it, right? And for this image, okay, this is not visible. I'll just increase this background color. And we will change this text color to something more dark, like here. Select your column on layout. So this is already selected. Just select this and your view will become in center. So we have created this view. I just like little round edges, so I will curve it a bit more. And you see we have created this one view, right? So this is our custom view. And suppose how to change the font. Okay, so how to change the font? Select your font. Okay, here you have a typography. Okay, here in typography you can do different things, like you want to select any of your custom font, or you want to change the weight of your font, you want to increase the size, right? Or a font color, anything can be done right from here, right? So I'll just use the same as cool. So this is how we usually in typography anywhere whenever you select any text, you will see this typography, which will help you change all of your text. Okay, so let's say I want to use this at multiple places, right? I want to use this view in my. How did I do this step? This step of selecting a font, just click on font, go to typography here at the right side. Cool. So let's say now I have this design, right? Which I want to use a separate page, which is my home page, right? How will we use it, right? The simple way. Can you also change the language? Uh, Language change, yes, of course, but you have to change language here itself, whichever language you want to write. Just copy from any translate medium and paste it. I think it'll work. How did the column come in the center of the page? Okay, how did this come in the center of the page? What I have done, I have selected body. Okay, and in body, I have applied flex, horizontal, center, line center, justify center, and this is drop to center. And if I want it left, it'll come to left, top, or top center. You can opt it whatever you want. If you want it top center, but what you want some width, like you don't want it to be stick on the top, you will start adding some kind of top padding like this, and it is buttoned down. Uh, I hope all of these questions has been addressed. How did the column come in center? Okay, all right. So this is how we usually create different views. But now let's say I want to use this same view in home, right? How will I do it, right? So there's one way. You just go to navigator, you click on this section, you copy this section, go to home, and let's say I remove this and you paste it, right? This is the one way, right? But this is not correct. We don't want to do this dirty job. What we'll do instead is you go back to your page, right? And you can define any of your component as a symbol, right? Let's say this is my component, right? And what you can do here is right click, you say create a symbol, and you can say, this is my heading. This is my heading symbol. Okay. And now if I basically want to use it anywhere, I'll just go to home, right? Here you will see all of the symbol. You click your heading symbol and it's right here, right? Now let's say because it is taking full parent, but we don't want this. The simple to solve this is once you drop your view here, you right click and say unlink instance. So what will happen? Any changes done here, it will not change your actual symbol, which is there. All right. So this is how we basically create our own custom views. Okay. So now you see how it become really easy for us to drop any view from one screen to another view. And how we'll do it? Let's say I want to add another one. I'll just do a symbol, right? And it is added here as well. I'll just unlink because I'm changing an instance. I'll just go here, justify and center, and I'll just add maybe some padding, and I'm ready, right? So this is how we create a symbols. Symbol means same layout, same stuff which you want to use at multiple different screens, multiple different views. You create them as a symbol and use it wherever you want to. All right, I will just pause here. I want you guys to create few symbols. Okay, sir, can you please repeat this once again? For sure. So let's say this is I have created this component which is very unique to my application, right? And I want this particular component, my container with these images, to be used at multiple different places, right? What I'll do, I will go to navigator, I will select this component which have all of these images. I will do a right click here and create it as a symbol, right? And I'll say maybe my grid. Okay, my grid SYMB. So this is my grid symbol, right? And now this symbol has been created. Now let's say if I want to use this symbol in any of app in my application, what I'll do, I'll just go to any other different page, right? And if I want to drop my that component here, all I have to do, go to the symbol, click here, and you will see this symbol has been generated here, right? So it is that easy. So you can create your own views, define it, and use it anywhere in your app you want to. All right. So I'll wait for a couple of minutes for you guys to build few of your symbols, okay, and update your UI, right? Maybe okay. You guys maybe create this page too, but will not be. I will not be able to see because we have not linked it now. We'll quickly learn how to link and then we'll complete this assignment altogether. By the way, quickly, instead of going here every time and publishing it, what you can do, you can click on this preview. This will show you exactly how will it look like on different devices. All right. So just click on this preview. Now, let's say what I want that on my page one, I have a home page here, right? I will add some button. I will add some button maybe down here. Okay, I'll remove it for now. I have this button, but I want this is I want this button to go to page two. All right. Just I'll quickly fix my body so that this button two will come in center. All right. I've screwed this one, so I'll fix it quickly. Just give me a second. I'll just select this button. I'll say I want some top margin. We'll select this grid, added this. All right, so this is solved, but I have given space to my image. Okay, now let's say I have this page, this button, which is go to page two. All right, I'll just select my button, go here into settings, and what you need to do, whatever page you have created, click on this setting. Okay, it will give you slug of this page, right? This is page two, right? What you have to do is now click on this button where I want to go. I want to go to page two. All right, and let's say I'll just publish it for now. I will view. When I click on this button, okay, you see my page two is loading. Okay, this is as simple as that. I'll just create a quick loop here so that you guys understand, and then I'll pause and take all of your queries. Okay, so what I'll do, I will add one more page here. Since we have just one section here, uh, I require to add one more section. Okay, all right. So I'll just create one more button, which will say again, go to home, right? And it will mostly be our home, right? So if we see this, if I click here, it'll go to home. If I click here, it'll go to page 2. Okay, I'll just pause here. Whatever steps are required, I will repeat, and I would expect few of you guys to complete this assignment and submit the link. All right. Feel free to post your questions. Sir, can you just repeat the process of bringing column to the center once again? All right. If this is in regards of this heading, what I have done, I've selected this body tag. Okay, I go to body layout. All right. So here, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, just keep your navigator open, select your body. Okay, go to your layout. Second option, which is flex, I have selected. I'm saying vertical. Vertical means one thing after another one, like you're seeing here, one this, one this, right? You see, they're just two components, right? And they are one after another one. If I make it horizontal, it'll come next to each other. Okay. So what I'm saying, I want it vertical. Okay. I want them to a center vertical. Center line is where I'm saying it is vertical. It will center to a vertical, right? Center means this center of the screen. And then I'm saying strict justify them to a top of the screen. All right. Once I have done this, okay. Next thing, what I have done is to this, I have added some top padding, which is 118 pixels. And to this button, what I have done is I have added some top margins, 32, which helped me build something similar to this. Okay, let's quickly discuss how we'll do. Okay, so have you guys dropped a button? Just go here in basics, drop any button on your view. All right. So let's say if I'm on home, I have dropped this button here. Okay, by clicking here, you click, I will maybe delete this button altogether and start it again. Okay, so I'll go here, I'll pick my button, I'll drop it right here. Okay, this is my button. I will give it some top margin, okay, in positive. So it is 40 pixels from top. I'll just edit it, like double click, edit it and say, uh, go to page 2. Okay, this is text. Select this button. You see there's a little setting button here which is edit element settings. Go to element setting. Here you see link setting, right? So what it is doing is the moment you click on this button, you have to link it to some another page. So what you do for now, you say, you just go to here, go to your page 2. Okay, you see this page 2 setting here, you know the slug, right? Slug means what is the URL of your page. Just copy this slug, go to home page here, remove this hash, forward your slug, right? And you just save, preview. When you click here, it'll go to page 2. Okay. What you can also do, let's say if I want to say I want to open this page basically into new tab, do just like this, open a new tab, click on view. When you click on it, it will open in completely new tab. Okay, it's not coming here. In order to display that, I will have to basically publish it. I'll quickly publish so that you guys can see my changes. All right, this is our recent changes. When I click on page 2, you see this has opened into new tab, right? When I click here, this is back to this, right? Similarly, what you can also do is, let's say you want some more URL and you say maybe this is my one more button, okay? And I will just add some top margin and I will say, go to Google, all right? Select this element settings and add URL like. So once you add it, just publish your changes, refresh, and click on go to Google. It'll take you to Google, right? So this is how you can create a link for different websites or a page to your own website as well. Cool. Sir, how to add symbol? Okay, so once you have created symbol, I believe you have created symbol. On the top, after add element, you will see this symbols icon. Click on this symbol, you will see both all of your symbols lists here. Uh, okay, I'm seeing this message. When I'm checking to view page 2, it shows error. Now, I'm not sure what error it is. Can you send me a link so that I can review it? Okay, can you check what is there in your link? Is it okay? You have just okay. The mistake is you have given / after page 2. Instead, you have to give / before page 2. It will be like this / page 2. So you have given / after page 2. If you fix that, it'll work. Creating the symbol step again for sure. So what you have to do is go to your navigator, select any of your view. Let's say I want this, right? Or let's say I want to create this button itself as a symbol, right? You right click on this and click on create symbol. What do you see at the last? Okay, sure. Go to pages. You see here is a setting button, edit setting. Click here, you'll see this option slug. So even if you directly copy this and try to open, you will directly land to my screen. Okay, I'm not sure why I'm not able to copy paste. Let me quickly. Okay, this copy paste is not working for me. Sorry. So, but this is if you even if you directly try to access this page, you will land there. Cool. You can set your own slug as well, by the way, whatever you want to set up, right? You can so PGS also, whatever you want to call, you can call it. I'll just save it as PGS. I'll go here, add it. I'll just call it PGS. Right. So this should solve our navigation, a simple navigation through button in our app. Do let me know once you guys complete this. So the things we have completed here is how you create multiple pages, how you navigate from one page to another page, how you create symbols, use symbols. Right. Do let me know once you guys complete this. I'll just hold it for a moment. Cool. Anyone else? Anyone have any question? Give me a second. I'll be right back. Cool. So one very obvious thing what is missing in our design is header, right? We don't have header in our application. Usually apps should have header, right? And almost all apps have header, right? So what to do here? Quickly go to elements. Okay, here in bottom, right? You will see components. Okay, and in this components you will see a nav bar. Just drag this nav bar on top of your site, and then you have a header ready. Okay, I've screwed something. Wait. Cool. So this is, I believe I've screwed something for sure. I should find out how I can solve it. Right? Cool. Seems like this is solved. I don't know how symbol is overlapping. Just publish your changes, I'll check. Okay, I believe we have done some changes to our body due to which we are getting this. What I'll do, I'll quickly solve this problem for now for you guys so that you know how to use this. Cool. So we solved this problem. Okay, so I will check. Just give me a second. So what we have done now, just now we have created this new, we have dragged this nav bar on top of our application, right? And now you see something similar to this is coming, which you can use anywhere in your app. And at the left side, we have a branding. What we'll do is we'll maybe fix this branding. Let's see how does it look like. I'll drop an image here. I'll pick MET logo, right? And in order to fix this, what I will do is I will just set it width to maybe 100 pixels, right? Or if it's let's say S140 pixels, it's like the snap bar, this blending, and we'll just keep it in center of this element, and I'll see if it goes. Because this is row, this cool, perfect, right? So you see, we have created this branding, and this home page. What we want to do, what we have done before, we want to just redirect our home to home. I'll just add it here, right? And about will basically be PGS. So the moment you see I have added this link PGS to this page, it color is changed to blue. What does it mean? Whenever you're on this page, so the color of selected tab will become true again. All right, I'll just pause here. I think we have covered a lot of things right now. So I'll just pause and make sure all of your doubts is clear. Okay, if you go to page 2, you'll see a new tab here with Amity University logo. You click here, we'll go back to the page. Cool. I'll pause and start taking questions, so feel free to post it. So my symbol is overlapping. Okay, I did have updated this designs. Uh, so which one is your symbol, Arjun? That I don't know. If this is the symbol, I didn't get it completely. Okay, I will repeat last part again. Again, request you to post messages to everyone. Don't send me personal message. Where to get a link to go to home. Okay, so any website, right? Any website home is default forward slash. So wherever you want to go to home, right? Just add forward slash here, empty forward slash. It will by default go to home. Okay. Uh, can you repeat the last part again? I think it's role C. Can you tell me which exactly last part you mean, header one or branding? Which one you mean? Do let me know if you guys are able to, complete whatever we have completed just far, just right now, adding a header, adding a button, linking to a different pages, creating different pages, right? One thing which I have missed, I will just repeat again after this, is basically creating elements and using existing layouts. We'll discuss this again in a moment. How to change a color of background gradient. Cool. So suppose right now this gradient is of my body. I'll just select my body. Okay. Go down. Here you see a gradient. Okay. Sorry. So here you see a gradient. Click here. Here you see a color. So click on this color and you can change color of your choice, whatever you want to use. Okay. This will help you know how to use a change, how to change the color. How to add second page to the about in the navigation bar. Okay, so you just click on this about. Okay, go to second and go to settings. Right here you see URL. Just give a URL of page where you want to link it to. Right, you can similarly add mail to, you can add basically page section, or you can add a phone number, whatever you want. If you select page here, you can directly select page also, by the way. If you find it difficult, if you don't know how to use a URL, right after URL there's a page option. You click on page and you can select page right from there. You need not to basically write it down. Okay, the question is, when I click page 2, I'm able to return to a home page But when I again click to a page two, the back button doesn't work. All right. Can you do one thing? Seems like there's a lot of confusion around it. Just select your button, go to link, go to page, and select your page. Right. Instead of adding a link, just select directly a page and see if it is working for you. By the way, you guys are seeing there here. I have two issues, right? So what happens is image are usually need alternate text, so that's why it is showing me. Okay, this is no descriptive link because here we have a brand and we don't have. So here we are using basically, if you see, we are using brand link, right? And this is not linking anymore. So what I'll say, even if you click here, you'll go to home. So if I publish it now, I will have less number of bugs. All right. Cool. You guys are follow. Can some of you please send me a link of your website so that I can see what we have done so far? Okay. I see he has created one symbol. There's a cat name. Cool. This is nice. So I think he has implemented. Oh, maybe because on this page also you have a link to similar page, but on a new tab. That's why we are getting this issue. So just take care of it. Okay, got it. Are you guys able to follow? I'm not able to go to page two. Can you show me where's page two? Okay, this is page two. This is hash. Can you remove a hash? It should be just forward slash page two. There should not be a hash. Okay, confusion on linking pages. This is same. There should not be any confusion. Just select your button or whichever component. Go click here and you see here's a link settings. Just if you are confused about URLs, just click on page and select the page where you want to link it to, right? And that's it. Just publish your changes if you want. Arjun, I believe you should be able to redirect it now if you fix that hash problem. Let me quickly check. Yeah, it's working right. Okay, here just add forward slash, it'll work as well. Cool. Perfect. Any other questions, guys? I believe no. So we have a lot to cover. So let's quickly move to our next one. Cool. So I believe we have discussed this precisely, but let me spend a couple of more minutes on that. So while we have built this ourselves, you always have option to use existing layouts, right? It will just space up your stuff, right? How to create your website super quickly. You see, I have created this, and now I add another section for my website, which is maybe this one, right? Just right. Right. So maybe uh, I have a section one. Yeah. Here's the gallery one. So similarly, you can use as many views as you want. Right. This is hero layout. So usually people use this as their home page, the hero layout. Right. Let's quickly see how does it work. Open your hero layout, centralized content, right? And here, if you go, you will see this is background image.svg. You just delete that. Instead, you just add a new image. Let's see. I will add this one cover, and this my hero layout is kind of ready. I will say I want it minus 200 pixels. You see this how easy it is to create this layout. And similarly, if let's say our website starts from here, right, we can do all of these changes fairly quickly. You see this how easy it becomes to create these kind of pages, right? So whenever you want, feel free to select one of the layout options available. In case, okay, we have not added footer. If we want to add footer, we have options for a footer as well here. So just set a footer below, right? So now you have a footer as well, right? Cool. Let's quickly fix our color, and what we want is something this, and you'll see a color is basically fixed. Just add hash, just add forward slash, it will work. Arjun, uh, here, let's say this one, go to link, add forward slash here, or in page select home page, it will work. Cool. So this is other option how you can create multiple layouts without even sweating and designing all of these things yourself, right? If you use this, things will work super fast for you. Let me tell you, recently the website which we have built in Webflow is this, right? So you see this complete website is built on Webflow, right? I will quickly tell you how this all interactions are working, right? So let's say here in the website, on this image, I want some kind of interaction. I'll go to here as the last tag is interaction. I'll add interaction, let's say on mouse hover, right? And then I will add action, let's say maybe flip, right? And now if I go to preview, you see this, okay, right? So let me select some other action which is more intuitive, right? So this is how you can basically add different kind of actions, right? On mouse and on hover, I will what I'll do, I'll just bounce, and on mouse out, I will just do a pulse, right? And if you want to see how does it work, right? So this is that easy, right? In order to add any kind of interaction, remember one of our point to use Webflow is interaction and animations, right? So this is exactly how does it work. I'll say this, right? And these two actions. Again, go to preview. The moment you hover here, you see this, right? Can you guys quickly try to implement interaction? Again, select any of your view. Suppose I have selected this image. Go on the fourth option, right? Here we have a styles. Here we have element settings. Here we have a style manager. Here we have a interactions. Go to interactions. Add interaction. What kind of interaction you want, right? So this is one is scroll into a view. Another one is mouse click, mouse hover. Select any of the option, right? Let's say here I'll say scroll view, right? And I just want to jiggle it a bit, right? And here I will not do anything. And if I, you see this here, if I scroll to this component, it should jiggle. Quickly check why it's not jiggling. Okay, this is offset is a problem here. Yeah. So every time I believe you do it, it'll just jiggle, right? So this is how we add different kind of interactions to any element. From where did I get this gallery view? Good question. So you just go here, add elements, click on layouts, right? On this layouts, you see this gallery. Just drop this gallery layout anywhere you want to. It'll work. This is a gallery view. Cool. I believe so far, so good. Let's go to page number 2. Right, this is our hero view. You see this? This is jiggling when I've scrolled here. If I just hover here, this image will just pulse, right? And you see our website is almost ready with all of different components. Right, I will again pause here for a moment. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot. I'll try to answer as much as possible.
Sir, you are on mute.
All right, sorry. Cool. I believe you guys don't have any other questions. So what we'll quickly do is we will just go back to a dashboard and see what else we can do here, right? Right. So what you can do here, this is something we have designed from scratch ourselves. What will I suggest once you start your next business or something you want to do? Select one of the template which is already available here, right? I'll quickly select a e-commerce one and let's see together how it will be benefit, how it will add a value for us, right? Like what I have done, I have selected one of the e-commerce link. So what it'll do, it will just complete all of the setup for you. Obviously, covering every point of Webflow will not be possible. I will give you high level of idea. In case you guys want to know more, just feel free to reach me out. Right. So this is my brand new website. I'll just share a link with you guys. Cool. So what we do, we'll start. We will basically start working here. What do you mean by WordPress page? Well, it's Webflow is a little different from WordPress. If you mean your own domain, yes, it is possible. You can publish it in your own domain. That's absolutely possible. All right. So this is our brand new website. You see, most of things are already created for us. All we need to do is do some changes here and there, and we are ready for we are ready with almost everything, right? So let's see how we'll start from this, right? So important thing here, what we have not discussed so far is basically CMS, right? You see here, one thing is we have all of these pages available right here, right? I'll discuss a little more about it. Just give me a second. Yeah. So this is the, sorry. Yeah. So this is a kind of page we were looking up for, right? So there's a message. I should go a little slow. Cool. So what we are going to do now is we have picked one of existing e-commerce template, and now we are just trying to change it and see how does it look like, right? So how's it working is basically I have just gone to a pages. I'm looking at what all kind of pages it has, right? Let's say this is one of the page. How I land to this page is if I click any of the product, let's say I'll go to shop. If I click any of the product, it's a little slow. I believe my internet is little slow right now. So hmm, cool. That it didn't work. Okay, it's working now. Perfect. Cool. So now what we'll do, we'll just try to see how we can do any changes on this page. You see this, this is one of the product page what we have, right? And these are its template properties, right? I will just try to quickly tell you how to modify this themes, right? Suppose we are here, right? This is the top text, right? And if we want to change anything here, what we can do is, let's say, I'll make it, I will make it a little more bold, maybe everywhere, right? In a product detail, right? What you currently seeing is something this product details, and now this is what we have built. You just publish it, and now you will have a capability of, seems like something is wrong with Webflow. Can you guys try if it's working for you? I'll just post it to everyone. It's not working for me. Webflow currently. It's not working right. Not sure. This is a little strange. All right. Seems like Webflow is not very happy with me today. Let me quickly. All right. I will not. I will not just start anything new, which I will not be able to finish it off. Right. Instead, I will spend some time here quickly and help you guys understand how to use it. Right. So, my motive to show you guys this one is that you can quickly come here, pick any of your theme, and you can do all of the changes here you want. Right. Let's say this is sticky navigation. Right. Just go here. You can say I want to edit this one, click on this header, right? And this heading, I'll just remove it. Okay. Instead, what I'll say is my header will have some kind of image inside it, as we have done just before. And in this asset, maybe I have to upload for this website. So I'll just click anyone's logo. Cool. And what we'll do is, so this is our new branding page, right? Now, no matter which page you go, right? Let's say shop, you see everywhere it is changed with our logo, right? So I'll suggest when you guys start, maybe pick any of the existing design and change it as per your need so that you're not starting from scratch. And as in when you guys feel more confident about it, you guys can opt it to use it at different places and do a all required modification by your own. All right, I'll again pause here for a couple of more minutes. Do let me know if you guys have any questions. All right, guys, any questions? Is there anything you guys want to know? How does it work? It has a cart, by the way, right? In case you want to implement cart and all those things, email, just go here and you can implement your store information. Where is it? Everything, and you can start setting it up, right? There is one more mode, by the way, which we have not discussed. I believe it's still available. Okay, they call it maybe audit now, not audit. So they earlier have a X-ray mode. I'm not sure if that's still available with them, right? Otherwise, this is how their website look like. Pretty cool. How to put image or a container in the middle of our website page. Okay, I'll I have one question. We'll quickly address it. So one simple way to do it, either like how we have done in our website, right? Oh yes, for sure. Contact us, right? Okay, this is a very great question. Thank you. I missed it completely. So what you can do is while we are doing this, you can also use forms here, right? Let's say I want to use this form as it is here, so I can use it also, right? This is a quick contact us form, right? And we'll do all required modifications on top of it. Modifications could be, I'll say I want with some 340 pixels. I want some margin from top, all right? And what I want is I want kind of some kind of background color, right? Maybe this and bit of transparent. Again, my love of curved borders still on. So, so this is as easy as this. What you guys are saying, creating any kind of can be any kind of form, right? So you see, we have a form available here. We have this form with submit button, right? Obviously, you can go to the setting and see how does it work, right? What it'll do, it will just you can decide what it is required to be done. So right now, this is hitting some APIs, right? Or you can decide like on click of this button, right? Basically, just drop me a message on mail instead of doing all these things, right? And just will do. Let's add all of this information. This is our button. Go here and you can say this is mail to, and you can say mail to whatever, like and if you do something like this, click on preview and someone click on this, it'll just open mail to. What it'll do, it will just open any of your mailing client, and a client can directly send you email. Okay, how to add a image, how to put an image or a content in the middle of the website page. All right, let's quickly do it. Right. So let's say this is 404 page. I will just modify this, right? So we have deleted all. Let's say we are starting from blank canvas again, right? For courtesy sake, let's have some kind of color in background. Okay. And what we want some container in the center of this component, right? You just click here, right? One easiest way to do this is you can select flex, right? And just do this and it'll be in center of your. Yeah. Cool. This is in center of your view. Cool. So most of the things what we have discussed right now are basically about front end, right? What you see at the website, right? But there is a lot goes behind the scene, right? How do any website work? How to power it, right? Let me give you an example, right? How do uh, how do basically Swiggy manages their rosters, right? How do they decide who will be on duty today, who will not be on duty, right? Likewise, most of these organizations, every startup have some kind of operational task, right? And for those operational tasks, sometimes you have to build a tool which will just provide you a extra capability of backend, right? Backend means where you can decide how to store a data, where to store a data, and in which form. For those kind of tools, we use for those kind of use cases, we again use a no coding platform, but a tools like maybe Retool, right? Or we also have a tool like Forest Admin, right? What these tools are intended to do is these tools are able to provide you. What is happening? Okay. So tools like this will basically help you implement all of your backend and different operational use cases without writing much of the code. However, it'll be great if you understand some basics of computer engineering, right? What is a table, how to save a data, and all those things, right? In order to discuss this little more in detail, we have Sid Puri today. I think he just joined. So I'll just hand it over to Dr. Nidhi if she quickly introduce it and he can take over how to use Retool.
Uh, I think he has joined Siddhant. Okay.
Yeah, I think he joined us,
So
Siddharth.
actually, we just didn't said. So I think the name was Siddhant. So our IT person
Yeah,
might not have recognized him. Sorry.
that's fine.
Just let me just ask.
He already joined as
Yes,
Siddharth Puri is
let
already
me
here.
ask. Puneet sir.
Yeah, he is co-host now,
Yes.
Dr. Deepa.
Great. So we can start, Niti ma'am. Then we can.
Okay. Any 5 minutes break or shall we start? Kavya sir,
Yeah,
do you require any break or can we start?
I think we can start. It is mostly Sid who will be driving it, and I will just help
Okay,
others
fine.
to, yeah, make it.
Okay, sir. Thanks. Yes, good afternoon, participants. I would like to welcome our guest speaker. He is going to introduce with the latest tools for web designing. Mr. Siddharth Puri, he is a computer science graduate from University of California, Berkeley. He is currently head of growth for Retool in India. He previously was a product manager at Bounce, where he led the consumer side. He has worked in product engineering and as a co-founder in startups in San Francisco and Bangalore for the last 6 years. Welcome you, sir, to be a part for this session.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank
Hello. Yeah. Thank you for coming, Siddhant.
No, I'm like really grateful that Kavya, told me about the event, and I'm glad that I could make it. Seems like you're doing some really great work. So, can you guys see me fine? Like, is the audio
Yes,
in
sir,
like
absolutely fine.
great? Just for like my understanding, what would you say is like folks understanding about web development right now? Is it completely at a beginner stage, or would do you think there are some folks who have dabbled in it?
I think most of audience is at the beginner stage.
Okay.
We have just discussed how to bring your website up and running, right? So these are the use cases we have discussed are mostly around front end side. So we would like to definitely understand how we build a backend power applications, right? How we can build a solution which can help us run backend or operational tasks very smoothly.
Got it. Okay. Well, I think Kavya has previously used Retool, and we spoke a lot about it. He's actually used Retool in his past organizations. Uh, I myself have also like used Retool as a product manager at Bounce for the last couple of years. And I joined the Retool team this year to lead their India business. So Retool came to me, like I think as an engineer a couple of years ago, as a solution which could basically free up my team from building backend applications from scratch. So when you're in a business, I'll just share my screen. I have a brief presentation, so I'll give you a good overview. So yeah, so Retool is essentially what we called a low-code way to build applications, custom in-house applications. So you can imagine that if you're, let's say, Swiggy today, and you ask Swiggy for a refund, then there is somebody behind like the Swiggy portal who needs to actually process this refund. Or maybe if you're creating a coupon code as for Paytm, you need to create like 10,000 coupon codes, and some application inside of Paytm needs to be built for internal Paytm company users to like build these applications. Um, and so this has been sort of our journey in like helping companies build these applications that I mentioned. So over the last 3-4 years, Retool came out of what you might know as Y Combinator in San Francisco in 2017. We started off as a way to essentially help like founders and startups to make it easy to build what we call as internal tools. And what we realized was a lot of these companies were spending a lot of time building these like backend applications for their like startups, and not focusing on the front end for the consumers. And so we started off our journey with DoorDash and Rex in 2018, and over the last 3 years, we've seen a lot of growth across a lot of different kinds of companies and use cases. Um, for example, in India, we have companies like Unacademy using us, and Super Daily. You might have heard of the grocery app. and Practo and ClearTax using us for different use cases. So as you can see, like a lot of the top tech companies have also, moved to this low code application. And I think it's a myth that everyone is writing code from scratch today for different use cases inside their companies. I think Kavya has already told you about Webflow. A lot of these companies use Webflow to, build their marketing websites, their homepage. And now there are a lot of companies using us for, enabling their backend office to make these applications. Kavya, if there are any questions or if you see anything, just like let me know in the chat. Happy to answer them. So I'll give you like a brief like challenge that one of our companies faced and why they came and started using Retool. So when you're a food delivery company, one of the things that is like the most common use cases is that it starts raining and you need to suddenly turn off delivery in like a specific pin code, right? So I don't know if you're based out of Delhi and it's raining in Gurgaon, and you need to turn off not all of Delhi's delivery, but just like maybe one area of Gurgaon where it's like really raining and there's a storm. So how do you do this today if you're like if you're a company that's doing food delivery? You basically have to build a manual sort of workflow and like ping some engineer saying, hey, can you turn off this like uh, can you turn off delivery here? And it's not something that the operations team can do. And this is sort of where Retool comes into play. Like it allows the non-technical teams to basically do this using the applications that the engineers just drag and drop and build. And there are multiple such use cases. If you were going to build this from scratch, these are all the things you need to take care of. And this is sort of where Retool kind of like helps. I'll just show you all the use cases and that a food delivery company has built on top of us. So you can imagine you need a customer support portal, inventory manager, a promo code manager, zip code deactivation we spoke about, a tool to like onboard new restaurants. So what you see is like building a startup is it's not just actually what you're seeing the app. There's a lot of back office applications you need to build to enable your non-technical teams. This could be support teams, sales teams, operations teams. If you're a small startup, this would be just like you doing it manually along with your co-founders. So if there aren't any questions, I'll just jump to maybe actually showing you a couple of applications that people have built on Retool and some templates. And after that, what we can do is I can do a walkthrough of building an application.
Yeah, Sid. And since most of our audience are new to web development and software engineering, so would like to see something which all of us can connect to and a little easier to build.
Yeah, sure. I think the most interesting application that I have sort of built using Retool, which is actually built entirely on top of a Google Sheet, is this application, which all of you can go and open. It's a website that's open to everyone. This was an application which I built, which is not for a company use case. It's for a general anybody. I think, wait, I'm not sharing my screen. Yeah. So this application, if you go to covidfoodindia.com, I think I'll just drop the link on the chat so everyone can see. This is a website I launched sometime during the pandemic to help out people who needed food and were looking for homemade food in different parts of the country. As you can see, this is like a very simple app, and if you open this on a phone also, it will try to like optimize, make it like a phone friendly app. What it does is if I click on this, I can easily essentially open WhatsApp and I can like send a message to that person. Right. So very simple app. All it does is trying to get like a list of everyone in your city, filter by neighborhood. And you can open this on web or mobile and WhatsApp that number. And I'll show you how I built this, but all of the data for this lies in like a spreadsheet. And this is how the app was built. So anyone can go and actually go to this website and clone this application, and you can see how it works under the hood. So there's a similar application, which is a template that I launched, which lets you like, build an app on top of WhatsApp. This is another example. If you are a business that is managing a lot of WhatsApp messages today, I think almost every business today is starting some sort of WhatsApp channel. You can essentially connect a Google Sheet and build this like WhatsApp message sending service. I can actually open this as well. And so if I open up my example app here, this is another app that I think might be useful to power your businesses. Right. Again, same kind of use case, just like a different implementation. What it's doing is essentially allowing me to send my customers messages for WhatsApp CRM. And how this works under the hood is essentially what I'm doing is I'm connecting it to my Google Sheet, which is reading my customer data. And then I've dragged and dropped these boxes, which I can do for you just in a second. And I've dragged and dropped this button. So what Retool does is essentially it gives you an environment for you to build an application using these common components. And these are components that almost 80 to 90% of web applications need. And so you can build these applications completely yourself without requiring too much engineering help. I say too much because there is some level of understanding that will be required for how your data is stored, how do you read and write back to your data. So it has a little bit of a learning curve, but for the most part, like the UI part, it's just drag and drop, right? I can show more applications, but let me just show you how this system works. So if I open Retool, it's going to look something like this. For you, it's going to be blank. This is our like demo instance. And what Retool essentially is, it's building this, it has these apps. And so you can go into these folders and click on any one of these apps, right? When you click on the app, you will see what the end user will see. And if you're going to edit it, you can just click on edit if you have editor access. And you can, drag and drop things into the field, go back, click, like if I drag and drop this button here, and now I click on the play button, I have that in the application. So it's as simple as that. And now I'll go and show you how you can maybe build one from scratch. So this is how I create an application inside of Retool. And I think I've showed you a couple of times, but essentially what I will be doing is using my right-hand side to drag and drop elements that might be what I'm looking for. Let me drag and drop a few elements here. Let's drag and drop a text element. Let's drag and drop a table. And let's drag and drop a button, right? Now what I we can build a very simple application which, let's say, activates and deactivates a user. So let's say you have new users joining your product as on a wait list or something, and you want to like activate their accounts. So let's call this the users table, and let's make this button activate user. And maybe I want to make this green. So let's go ahead and change the color to the green I like. And that's it. I think we're good on the UI side. There's not much else required for what I'm trying to do. Now it's just about pulling all the users' data. For this, I can do it in a couple of ways, right? So Retool connects to any sort of data source you can have. It can connect to a Google Sheet, or it can connect directly to your databases. And a database is essentially something that every application has to store all the information. So let's say that let's pull all the information from the database. This is a simple select query, what we call. So I'll pull all that information, save it, and now I'm able to essentially see this is all my user database. Looks good. So now only thing I need to do is connect my data to this table over here. So let's click on these items. As you click on these, you will see that the right hand side keeps changing. So everything on the right hand side is to do with the UI component, either dragging, dropping new components, and everything to the bottom hand side is to do with the data. What we're going to do now is connect the data to the table. So we're going to click on this table, and you see some dummy data here. Let's remove that. And let's use this mustache braces in Retool to reference the data. As you can see, it's pulled a lot of custom like user information here, and most of them are not active. So let's actually order this by the user ID, so it's simpler. Yeah, so now I can see all this. If I want to make this table bigger, just drag and drop this, make it like bigger. I can see more users. We even have like a compact mode, so I can like show more users, right? And at any point, if I click the play button, I will go into the end user mode. By end user, this could be someone in your company. If you want to share this app publicly, then you can essentially go and say, here's a public link. This is a public link. Anyone can open this right now and see this app as I'm building it out. Kavya, any questions at this point? Do you think?
No, this is looking cool. Can you share that link here? Yeah, you have shared it, right?
Anything that you want me to go over again that you think might have been too quick?
Yeah, I'll just also open this chat session, guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send.
Yeah.
Like, since I'm already using Retool, so I find it fine. But quickly setting a context, like as we have discussed, Retool powers a lot of business, a lot of operational task has been taken care by Retool, right? For an example, if it's Uber, right, rather than just having a app which we all use, how we onboard all of drivers to Uber is basically can be handled by a tool like Retool, right? Driver onboarding and coupon management, as Siddharth just mentioned, right? How do we get those data?
Yeah, so that's a good question. I already had some dummy data into the system, but essentially what you need to do, let me go back to editor mode.
or if it's not too much, so can we quickly make an app using Excel or maybe Google Sheets, because I think that's something everyone uses.
Yeah, I can try. Give me a second. Let me just pull in some.
Do let me know if I'm putting you on the spot.
No, it's okay. I haven't made a I haven't made a demo using Excel. I've made apps using Excel. So let me see what we can do here.
Cool. At the same time, seems like we have a very security concerned group here. So, would you like to pick all of these questions, like if it is safe, hack proof, and
Yeah.
all of these?
To answer your question, is retool safe? Yes, there are actually two ways to use retool. So one is you host your data in your servers and then you connect your database to retool and it's hosted in our cloud, which is, always encrypted, and we don't retool does not store your data anywhere. So retool is only this UI layer that you see here. If you go to like what we call as connecting resources, this is where you would like essentially store your Google Sheets or Postgres database. But as you can see, like as soon as you do this, that password is like hidden and it's encrypted, and we don't really do anything with it. The reason some people have a concern with that, they actually go ahead and what they host retool inside of their own cloud. What that means is some companies and some industries have compliance requirements, like a financial services company cannot connect their data to a third party system. So what they do is they take this retool. The best way I can explain this is they basically take the retool software and they host it what we call as on-premise. And so those are the two ways to use retool. You can either use the cloud version or use retool on-premise. Yeah, it's completely safe and secure. I can send you like our security requirements. You can feel free to email me and I can share more details on security, as well as our documentation on security that you can go through. But yeah, retool is used by a handful of organizations that would have that issue. So we get this question a lot, and this will tell you where your data is stored and how does retool actually use this data. So I'll share this link for whoever was interested in that in the chat. I see there's another question around how do we get those data? So the data is something that would be yours. So imagine your users' information data. It could lie in any kind of system that you use to store your information. And so retool integrates like with all kinds of data sources, whether it's a database or using a REST API, or using what we call as external like SaaS providers like Google Sheets, Firebase. Yeah, anything that people use to store data today, retool can connect with. Other than that, I think you can essentially go to our integrations page and see what all we integrate with to make it easier, right? You can see Sheets, you can see like Slack, you can even like use Twilio, Zendesk, Salesforce, bunch of things. And I think the other question was, so Mudit, primarily this is not a website, like we don't actually use retool for customer facing applications. As like Kavya mentioned, most of the time retool is hosted for internal company applications, and so we don't actually allow anyone to use that website outside of like you don't actually share that as a public link. What typically happens in any like sort of case is this is like an application that someone would use, and this will be hosted behind a login. So if I open this in a new Chrome tab, I will have to do a sign in with Google or a
You're
sign.
not sharing your screen. Sorry, Seth.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
So if I'm using example.retool.com, which I was showing you, I need to actually sign in with Google to like access this page. So if I don't have access to that specific app, I won't be able to use it. And the way we handle this today is through a very granular level of access control. So we make sure that even inside of our company and teams, we are creating different access control for different users. So you might give your customer success team just view access to one or two applications, and you can go and select, what anyone can do inside of Retool as well. And you would only be giving access to users like on this application through this invite mechanism, and you can integrate with Google SSO or any identity provider you want to connect with. But for most of our cloud customers, Google login works fairly well. You can also use like regular email password if you so please. Does that sort of answer the question?
So Mudit, precisely what we do is when we use Retool for our internal tools, we add a layer of authentication on top of it. Usually that authentication looks like a SAML or a Google authentication. So in order to access that tool, a user is required to be signed in with a company or a corporate credentials. When those credentials are verified, only then they'll be able to access access that application and do different kind of things. So it's not kind of B2C platform. However, it has a capability to be a B2C, but the primary use case for using a retool is B2B. Where it handles a lot of backend task, operational stuffs and all.
Yeah.
I think next one is for me, Rishika, is how not to let the website go down automatically. Well, we have there's a different ways how you can check uptime of your website. In fact, there's a website name as Uptime or Run Scope Uptime Lite, where you can just add your website link, and every now and then it will just ping your website and check if your website is up and running or not. In case it is not, you can go back, find out why not, and fix it. But whenever we use third-party application like a website development providers like Webflow or Wix, they'll just take care of uptime most of the times.
Yeah, I think if you use any sort of like low code or no code editor like Retool or Webflow or even a Squarespace, right? Like making sure the website is up is like a huge part of the reason why you're trusting them with that. And if you're running Retool like on the cloud, like it's essentially being, if let's say you get a lot of traffic tomorrow and it's like thousands of views on a website, like I did when I made this like website live, that scaling that you need for your website, that if you built it from scratch you would need, that's handled by Retool and AWS, right? So most of today's like scaling concerns can be handled by adding more what we call as computational power and like servers, and that you can set up with even AWS, even if you don't use Retool and you do it yourself. So a large chunk of like making sure your website not going down is mostly a solved problem. I think Kavya can also answer more situational things in his career. But a third party provider will mostly, that's sort of the guarantee you're going for when you're using a Retool or a Webflow about making sure your website's live.
Yeah. So, but there's a catch. The catch is like what kind of plan you're subscribed to it, right? So usually these websites have some kind of it depends on again a provider. They have some kind of minimum maximum traffic norms where they say if suppose you have 100,000 users already reached your website, then you'll get this speed, right? Or maybe you just opt to upgrade your plan to 500,000 users, but they just take care of it, like they just make sure your website is up and running. In case they see you are already consuming your available quota for that month, they'll just drop you and advance notice and give you opportunity to update it so that your application is continued to run.
Got it. Yeah, I think in Retool's case, we don't have a different plan for that since most of our use cases is internal. We don't really face like crazy amount of traffic. We did once face some Russian website that ate up all our servers and our events that made a public website. But we found a way to like make sure that doesn't happen again. Yeah, so like to answer your question, I think like you can build like a public website where like people can connect to this data. This information here is meant to be publicly shared, and therefore it's open and anyone can copy paste this and use it. But if you want to like not show this information and you're trying to just show some other information, nobody can access your like Google Sheet data from here. So I can only use this app. What you might look at as a use case is, today if you share a Google Sheet with someone and that's not really like a web application and you can't really control the experience. So like a Retool or a Glide apps might allow you to basically build something which you can like use the Google Sheet as a backend, but nobody can obviously access the underlying Google Sheet. So if I want to make a change here, I can just go to the sheet that I've connected it to, and that will allow me to basically change the application. I think one of these sheets will be that. Yeah. So this is the underlying sheet that is connected to that application that I'm showing you. And if I change, let's say Deepa to, I don't want to do this, but I will do it for the demo. Hopefully this is the sheet that is like actually, you can see Karan is like changed here, but as a user, I can't change this information. I can download it and do anything with it because it's public. And this is a public Google Sheet that's been going around, which I just made an application out of. Cool. Why don't I try to make this application or something like it? Or do you want me to show a few more demos, a few more use cases, Kavya?
Sorry, I was on mute. So I think if we can build something similar using Excel, that'll be great because we always have some use case for Excel in our backend.
Got it. Let me just make an example. So let me make. So as you can see, I created that. This is inside my COVID food app. So I already have the Google Sheets connected. But the way for me to connect a Google Sheet would be, I will go to the homepage. These are the applications. This is where I can connect data. And here I can already connected what is my Google Sheet. So let me show you again. It's just a single sign-on like you do in Google normally, and you can access and allow Retool to read that information. If you're concerned about like your personal data, what I would recommend is create a separate company account and just put the information for the company that you need Retool to access. We don't have a way to like limit which sheet to access today, unfortunately. So now that I've connected my data, I will see that I can access it inside this application. So let me go back to editor mode and select, this is like what I had connected. Now I can select a sheet. Let's select the COVID Meals for India Retool app sheet. And no, that's not the one. What's the sheet called? Oh, okay. Let's just make the view with the Delhi view. See if that works. some issue. Sorry, guys.
I think it's Delhi and NCR.
It's Delhi
This is-
NCR. Correct. My bad.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah. So this data is now loading from that Google Sheet as we saw. And I can just say, save this data. Let's call it get sheets data. Let's call it get sheets. And now, as you can see, it automatically connected, but let me do this from scratch. Let me delete this table over here. So to review, all we've done right now in this application is connect the Google Sheets. And all we did was read data from the sheet that we wanted to connect it to. Now what we're going to do is we're going to drag and drop. And you can always hide this if you find this by clicking on this. Let's drag and drop a table. I think we want like a banner as well. So we'll drag and drop that container I have over here. There was a table. Anything else the app has? No, I think that's mostly it. Now it's just about, I'm not going to show the filtering because the filtering is a little complex for the last like 20 minutes we have. I'm just going to drag and drop like a text element here.
So this text will just search thing for us. Is that correct?
So this is just like right now, what it's doing is essentially pulling in all the information from the sheet. The few things we can do here is we can create even an editing tool, which can maybe write back to your Google Sheet. So another thing we can also do is like, connect it to I have a form here, which like allows me to, submit a new entry, and we can add that entry as well. So let's say this is your COVID food India for find COVID food in Delhi. Maybe you want like a subheading. Yeah. And let's say you want to give anything else. I think this seems about right for a UI. Now when I click on preview, this is the end website. If I share this with you, this is the public link. Anyone can access it now. What I did to make this like simpler, this link is obviously not very great, is I bought the domain and I forwarded the domain to this link. So when you're actually clicking on covidfoodindia.com, what is happening is it's redirecting to that domain. That's sort of how we handle public apps right now. There isn't a way for you to build a domain and all that, because like I said, it's mostly used for internal backend office applications.
Yeah. And I think there's a quick way to add a security layer here is share it with a password, right?
Correct.
Where you can
So
apply some kind of strong
if you want to
password.
like make it, this is a very like base level security. If I want to give like
That's
a
right.
password similar to the way you share Zoom links today, you can do that. So I can enable password or disable password. So if you don't want to give this to everyone as a public app and you want to give it to maybe a handful of users, you can try that. Right. Actually, I want to make this a modal. So I want like a pop-up to come. So I'll add a modal instead of a button. Let me delete this. And like I want just like the button to open up this screen, which will take some entries from the customer. So if I, put some text input here, this will allow me to basically create like a form like interface. Let's just take name, phone number, city. Sorry. Let's just do those three for now. And as you can see, all I'm doing is dragging, dropping from the UI. Now, when I'm going and clicking on one of these, I can change properties of that element. So I'll change it to phone number here. I'll change this to city and add a button which will allow me to submit. And let's add some text on top to make it like slightly nicer to tell what we're asking this information for. Let's say become a COVID warrior, anything you want, right? Now it's just about hooking this up to our Google Sheet. So when this submit button is hit, we want it to go and actually add data to a specific field. I have on my sheet, I believe, new leads as like a place. Let me make another one for, let's call it demo leads. And I want name, phone number, city. Sorry. It's too many retool tabs open. Let me close a few. Yeah. Oh, this is on the copy. My bad. So I'm just creating this form, just a basic one for it. I'm going to do another. Now we need to again do an update to our data. So we're going to go and update, say, append data to a spreadsheet. Let's select copy of COVID meals. Sheet name is demo leads. And just to make this simpler, I'm just going to copy paste it from the other app I have and show you how it's done. So there's essentially, I'm pulling this information from here to make it easy. Yeah. So I want to do an append. I want to do it to copy of COVID meals. I want to do it to demo leads. And I want nothing but name, phone number, and city. Now, how do I reference what is what here? This is, when I hover on top of this, this is text input 1. This is text input 2. And that's text input 3. Everywhere where we access data in Retool for like some like parameter, some variable, it's going to be using these curly braces. This is not, yeah. And I can save that, and hopefully what I want to do is update sheet. When I click on this submit button, I want to run the update sheet query. And let's try that and see if it's working. Cool, works. As you can see, I am now able to pull information from this sheet, from the Delhi Google Sheet, and I'm able to write back to it by submitting a form. Very basic app. We have a couple, we're like 5 minutes, so I wanted to like use it. We can add the WhatsApp button whenever you want to this app to make the whole app work. This is also fairly simple. I'm just going to like essentially be, let's make it green. For the WhatsApp button, what I'm doing is I want to WhatsApp that number, right? And we have this like hack with WhatsApp. You can just do WAME +91 and then add anyone's phone number and WhatsApp that number. I don't know if you guys know that already, but if you put in your number, you can try this right now as we speak. Just add your number after that, and you can open up WhatsApp. This is on phone or web, both. It works seamlessly. WhatsApp has like a nice inbuilt thing for that. So all I want to do is when I want to click on WhatsApp, I want to, instead of triggering a query, I want to go to a URL, right? And that URL is nothing but this WhatsApp thing I sent you plus the phone number I'm currently on. So the way I can get that is table.selected_row.data.number, and that's the phone number. And hopefully that works. So let me like try and WhatsApp this number. Yep, I'm able to WhatsApp that number, and that's the full app. I think you guys have access to that link. You can open it, and that's how the entire thing works.
Is it possible for us to also see the code of it by any chance? Like how you have built? No, right?
You can look at a similar application and you can clone it. So I wanted to get to that if we had time, but basically, if you go to retool.com, like you showed earlier, there's a template that I published called the WhatsApp CRM template, and it works on a very similar logic. So if you hit on start with this template, it's going to copy it into your app, and you're going to be able to use this and see how it all works under the hood. So this has a little more like logic in it. It's actually like doing a different WhatsApp for different countries, but you can like, it works the same way. It pulls the data, and then this send WhatsApp button is sending that message along with to that phone number. I can send this link on the chat below.
Cool stuff. Impressive. Any questions, guys?
Yeah, I would love for like any questions wherever.
Just to give you an idea, next to your Fest app, whenever you are managing it, you can manage it on Retool.
What?
I'm just giving them a tips. Next Fest app, their internal university one, they can build on top of Retool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do we have anything special for students here on Retool by any chance?
Yeah. So I think
Like
Kavya,
what does pricing look like?
yeah. So pricing is, there is a free tier and a startup tier, which is $10 per user per month. But what I can do is essentially, Kavya, as you know, I've given you a promo code to share with people since you're a power user of ours. We can essentially give every student up to $1,000 free credits. So that will allow you to play around with it. You'll have to create an account and pay the first $10, but I will refund that and give you $1,000 in credits. So for that, let me just share the link below and the promo code for it. So we have a special discount for people Kavya refers. So it's using the X to 10X code, and anyone can submit that and get the 1,000 credits whenever you want. And there's no like limit on the credits. I think the only restriction is now that a company has to be like within 2 years of being founded, which I think all of you guys will qualify for. So all students can apply for it. Any other questions?
Cool. Exciting thing. I think, guys, in case this is good, 70,000 plus of rewards for all of us. I use it. I use it a lot. I'm sure all of you will find out some use case for it.
Yeah, this is I've dropped it here, but I would ask the host to also send it out to anyone as an email, which I can forward to you.
Sure.
That's the code, right, Kavya? X to 10x 1K for you?
I think that's correct. We'll verify and inform us as well. In case anyone face any issue, just feel free to reach me out also.
If some students ask for, we can provide them.
Yeah, just reach me out. I'll be happy to help.
Yeah.
So,
Anything?
Cool.
any questions, share, you can just put in a chat box. I can just see one question here. That's for Kavya, and he's talking about, sir, can you please explain the usability of the navigation bar once again? So,
Yeah, we'll be spending some time back on web development right after this. So let's spend 5 minutes in case anyone have any questions for Sid. Anyone want to know more about Retool?
Yeah. Is there any questions on, what kind of things can I build, or how to get started? There's some resources I can share with all you guys, and we have a very active YouTube channel where you can see that's actually a good resource to see what people build on Retool. So this is Coursera talking about their journey on Retool. You might have heard of Coursera, the famous edtech company. And so they build all these applications for their internal tools. There are a lot of like customer stories here, and they showcase their apps that they have like built on Retool. Again, all these applications are more for internal use cases, for making their backend operations really fast and seamless. And I think when you start your businesses, you'll see the need for building these backend office applications a lot more, as Kavya has seen in his business right now. If you have any, I will give my email address, drop my email address below. If you have questions about Retool or questions about, entrepreneurship in general, how to get started. I've run a startup for a couple of years in San Francisco. I also studied computer science at Berkeley. So if you have any questions about, doing your master's in the US, anything, like, you can feel free to reach out to me. I love helping people who are, getting started in their entrepreneurial journey. I will say Retool, it will take some time to get used to. So we have customer support. They will help you. They will even go inside your app and debug it. Kavya pings me from time to time, figuring out how to do it. So we'll try to make sure you learn on the platform as quickly as possible.
As the participants are posting comments, so I think you can see that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But if there's any, further questions, you can reach out, and I'll share more resources that you can share with the students.
thank you, Siddhant. Like within a short time, you have accepted our invitation, and we never knew that creating an app was such an easy task. Also, we always at the back we think so much. I think students will gain a lot because they are the ones who are more into this technology, and I hope so. They bring on with some app, and we'll definitely share with you also what they have done today and what they have learned.
Yeah, I remember being a computer science student, and even for me, it was hard to build an app as quickly. So I think Retool has really helped in that sense, and giving a lot of people the power to build applications very quickly. That COVID food app, especially, like, I think, with the crisis we have right now, it was something a lot of people needed. So I think it's going to give a lot of people, like opening up coding to a lot more people. And that's the hope of the organization.
I think there's just comments coming, no questions anymore.
Yeah.
So they like
I will make sure that I'll post you all. I'll make a screenshot of it.
Awesome.
we'll do that.
Right. Thank you. Is there
Yeah.
anything else? Or you would,
I don't know anyone there are more questions, but we'll definitely like to have you again at MET. Okay, let's hope things get better and we meet offline also. And
yeah.
yeah, we definitely have more future sessions to build up app. Like it's really nice. I think I will also start implementing now.
Yeah, I think like next time I'll have like a lot, maybe like a specific to Amity's, like specific to the sessions use case, and I can build an app which is, I'm more prepared to build. This was like a little on the spot. So hopefully we can build something a lot more complex next time.
Yeah, sure. We will definitely plan. We'll plan accordingly.
Cool. All right.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you for
Take care.
having me. It was
Thank you.
great.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Bye
sir.
bye.
Bye.
I think
Cool.
we can move for a website session. There's a few questions coming. We can pick up from Mr. Kavya.
Yeah,
Let's
sure.
come back to web designing. So if you have any questions, who all have been doing web designing, so they can ask their questions now.
Cool. I'll just go back to a question. Just give me a second. Okay. Can you please explain the usability of navbar once again? All right, cool. So we have added navbar here, right? So we use navbar usually to navigate between different pages on our application, right? So you must have seen, maybe I'll quickly go to Flipkart. So or most of other websites, whatever you use, right, you come across these navbars, which will have primary actions or primary CQs, what we call it, on top of it, which will quickly help you navigate between different screens. For example, I'm at any product detail and quickly I want to see what's there in my cart. I'll just go click here and see it, right? That's how we use navbars. If it is concerned how we basically create it, I will just delete it quickly, right? And I'll show you how we create this navbars. So here in add elements, you see this below a navbar. Just click on it, drop it on top of your application, right? Here is a container for branding. Select your branding container, go to elements back. What I have done is I have added an image here, right? That image of my choice was maybe Amity logo. I have fixed its width to 120 pixels and added some top padding and made it a little more in center, right? So that's how I have created a header. And this is a links, right? Again, a simple thing is go here in link settings, go on page, select home will take me to home. I will just edit this about instead. I'll call it page 2. And when we click here, so it will go to page 2. So how do we usually use it? Multiple different pages in our application use same header, and that's why we have a link for all of our pages here. So you see, because this current page is page 2, right? That's why this is highlighted to a blue, right? This is already has been taken care of that flow, right? I'll pause here if anyone have any more questions. How to create a complex drop down? Complex drop down. Okay, very good question. I don't know how complex, but how to create a drop down is for sure. Like we have an option of creating a drop down, I think right here. Just we can drop a drop down, right? Every drop down have a attributes. We can create different attributes or open a menu, right? Like this, and you can decide what to do here, right? But if there's any specific use case, like when we say complex, like what exactly use case we want to fix, if you share, maybe I'll be a little more easier for me to tell you. Sir, can we also include search bar at the top like a Flipkart? Yes, for sure, like a Flipkart, sir. What is a use of list and Amazon? What is the use of list? Okay, list is basically used to list down the items, right? So I will quickly go here, right? So this is a list, all right. And what I'm going to do here, I will create any new list item, right? And you see when you go here, right? Each of our view have a list item now. You can quickly go here and see, right? So what we do now, we'll just modify our list item. Let's say this has this, okay, it says maybe some kind of heading. You decide, right? So this heading type is header 2, right? And I'll just I'll just continue on all of this place. Let's say I call it my, and in order to reuse it, what we can also do, we can create a symbol, and we can just drop this symbols here in every list if you want, right? So this is a other way how you basically use it, right? And if you edit any one of this, let's say I'm editing here, I'm calling it, it should be 28, should have a color maybe red. You see all of these items has been taken care of, right? That's, and those use cases we use. List, search bar, yes, for sure we can have it. There's a lot we can do inside CMS collection, which we didn't get a time to. But if we go there, we'll discuss how is it working. But I think you'll get a good tutorial there. But in case you guys have any issues, so let me know. Link to different pages and the categories. I think, yeah, drop down which has a link to different pages category is something we have just built here, right? So if you click on preview, click on your drop down, you have a different links. So it is right out of the box, pretty easy to build, right? You can, if you think it's a little complex, just go to navigation. You see here's a drop down list, and here it's similar thing. You can just link it to any page you want, right? Or you want to call it anything, feel free to do the changes, right? Let's say I have here drop down and I'm just publishing it to different pages. And if I close, go here, drop down, go to home, you see this home is working now, right? How to use the opacity of an image? Well, it's pretty easy. I'll maybe simply go to page 2 and see if there's an image which we can modify. So I think we have created most of this as a symbol. Select your image here, right? And on your image, right? You just this effect you see, you can just click on opacity and reduce the opacity at any point of time, right? How to edit an element within a symbol? Okay, how to element an element within a symbol is, you see this is I have created this actually as a symbol. So when I select this on top, I see what is this symbol name, right? Here you see this, I have a heading symbol. When I click, you see this heading symbol. Just click on this edit icon a little bit at the right side, and you'll go in edit symbol mode, select any element, and it will work. If you don't do this, you will not be able to select any of element. Like you see, I'm not able to select image or heading here. In order to select this and edit, I have to click on edit, and then only I will be able to do it. Or what you can do, suppose this is a symbol, but I want to change it just in this view. You do a right click and do a unlink instance. Once you do an unlink instance, it is open and you can use it wherever you want to use it. All right. Sir, no, it's there's no instance of conventional websites are more secure websites than we have created. No, that's not true. See, I'll say in fact, uh, the okay, your website will not be secure from day one, right? You have to work for it. And here in these cases, someone else is working for you to make sure your website is secure. So I think security is not a concern ever. Can I ask, what are the security features on the website like you have created? Well, uh, okay, so security features like you're able to use it through as there's a really great, like we have a lot of people who are secure. Yeah, this is like the basic security, like a HTTPS protocol is already there. I think Dhanse already replied it, right? But most of these servers you are not able to penetrate, right? So for an example, if I show you my link here, right? So most of these applications, you see, these are client side application, right? This code is already available here, right? And backend code is usually being communicated through the networks. This is true for any kind of application. You pick Flipkart, right? Go to right click, okay, and go to network, just refresh, right? And you see there's bunch of API call, and you can see all of your data right here, right? So that's true everywhere. Like there's client face, there's client side rendering, and there's server side rendering. So if I open maybe Myntra.com, okay, so you see at the right side, all of API calls has been logged. I'll just clear, redo, okay. So you see this, all of the API calls has been logged. If I search for, let's say, a black here, right? So you see a black, you click on this API call, you know which API has been called, and you see that all API data is right here. Right. What is the one versus you would give to someone who want to in field of software engineering? If your question is in field of software engineering, really great question. Will maybe uh, would like to connect with all of you. Just give me a second. We'll just run a open-ended question answer session if that's fine for all, right? But if still you have any specific thing to discuss, feel free to uh, think here and chat. Yeah, open advisors. I think if it is related to software engineering, don't stick to any particular stack, right? The job of software engineer is to solve the problem, not to stick to any particular stack. Like we often see people say, "I'm a front-end engineer, I'm a back-end engineer." Or it is even more worse when we go to mobile application development. We have an Android application developer and we have iOS application developer, and they just hate each other, right? They just don't like each other. It's a rivalry, starts from Apple and Android, but if you choose your stack, people start to hate you as well. So I think the job of software engineer is to solve a problem, regardless of whatever language, whatever platform it comes from. So just be a good problem solver, and you'll do great. I think that's a general advice I'll give to everyone. Anything else, guys? Anything else you guys want to know? You have any questions about?
Any more questions, please? I think there's one question. Ritika is asking, what is one advice you could give to someone who wants to set out to start a career in this field?
Yeah, I've just discussed this. Uh, in this career, in this field, if I'm Ritika, I'm really sorry if I'm not getting it correctly. If this is again about software engineering, I think then my advice is to be a problem solver. If it is if it is about a business, right? As far I understand, I think don't go crazy, be minimal, do your product market fit first, right? And then you go and build crazy stuff, right? We always want to build things which are crazy, which look really sexy, which have a lot of features, but that doesn't work, right? A simplicity is the king. If you are building something which is very easy for user, very intuitive, your business will do great. And once you do a product market fit, then go crazy and build things on top of it. A website or a book to learn about Webflow. Well, that's not handy with me. I'm really sorry, Gulrez, but I will share a content, something related to it with a host. I hope they'll share with you. By the way, there's a Webflow dedicated YouTube channel. I think they are pretty active there. You can learn a lot from there as well.
I think
Anything else you guys want to discuss?
I think it's a long day. So
Yeah, it's a long day, but I think I thoroughly enjoyed this session. Special call out to a lot of student who was interacting throughout this session. Few names now I remember is Gulrez, Arjun, Sukhbir, Nipun, Ritika. I think there are obviously a lot more, but great to see what
yeah,
you
they
guys
have
have
been
built in
more
such
active.
such a short time.
They have been more active for their website.
Yeah. Right. So I have this right there. We'll continue to see what you guys build. So I will just bookmark all of these all of these links.
So I hope everyone just keeps on doing something, right?
Yeah.
think Deepa ma'am, they
Uh,
enjoyed a
so
lot.
uh, le-
And that's
yes,
why
yes,
now
Nidhi ma'am, you're saying
compliments are coming up from the students. And now whole like sir, yes, at a very easy pace, you have explained everything well and handling all the queries of the student participants simultaneously. So that's what the students are now giving a compliment for you. Like yes, it is really a wonderful session.
Thank you, Dr. Lee.
Yes, Deepa ma'am.
I think let's send so participants. We have sent a feedback form for this session in the WhatsApp group and chat box. So kindly fill it. So it has been a long and fruitful day, starting from understanding the basics of websites to designing and websites and creating an app was totally a surprise for us. So our speaker, Mr. Kavya, has been quite patient. I hope the students will acknowledge that in explaining concepts and dealing with their queries. So on behalf of MD School of Business, I would like to thank Mr. Kavya for such a wonderful and insightful session of web designing. And I'm sure, like with little practice, participants will be able to create and manage their own websites. I would once again like to extend a heartfelt gratitude to the distinguished speakers of the day, Ms. Harpreet Kaur, Mr. Siddhant, and Mr. Kaveh Soni, for accepting our invitation and delivering enlightening sessions during second day of the workshop. Thank you for coming, and we hope to have you again at MIT. So, Mr. Kaveh will definitely, maybe in future, would like to call you for more such insightful sessions, if possible.
For sure. For sure. Thank you, Dr. Deepa. Thank you for having me here.